Jai Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Dhanavad, how are you?
Good, and how are you?
Happy to hear you. Lila Moy Prabhu, Ganga Lila, and Roger. Roger, where are you?
Hey, I'm in Monterey, California.
Ah, nice, nice. So you're close to the devotees. Very good. Budharam Prabhu is also here. And also from Australia, but I don't know whether he is in Australia. You are, okay. Also Lynn and Sweet Dana or Dana K. Hare Krishna. And our dear Jivana, Hare Krishna, welcome. Dear Priyanana, so happy to have you with us. I just sent a message to Maharaj. Oh, he's here. Good morning, obeisances, Maharaj.
Yes, good morning. I was early and then time ran away, just see. Dear devotees, well, at least I don't have to wait for the devotees to come together. The devotees are here. Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaiṣṇavebhyo namo namaha. So Jai Shila Gurudev ki Jai, Shila Guru Maharaj ki Jai, Jai Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Vaga ki Jai, and worldwide worshipable Vishwa Varenya Shila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. So dear devotees, here we are. So let's have a mini Vandanam to get us on our way, to get us started. So one Savandeham, and then Namo Mahavaranyaya. No, Omagyan Timrandasya, then Namo Mahavaranyaya. We just did our Vanchakalpa already. All right. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Pada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitang Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitan Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vashakan Vitangs Cha Om Agyana Timirandasya Yananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gorat Vijay Namaha. So dear devotees, here we are, and we have Jivana Devidasi with us, and we have many devotees, Gangalila Devidasi, also an older, not in the age, but in the age of connection with Krishna consciousness, and in fact, all of us, all of you, young or old, all of you are welcome. It's not a matter of time. Guru Maharaj gives the example, if a room has been dark for many centuries, but if somebody goes in there with a light, with a candle, then it is already lit. It's immediately lit. It doesn't matter whether it was from yesterday or the day before or the night, but when there is light, there is light. So we are together, and Praneshwari Devidasi also, one of our senior devotees with us. So let us begin. Praneshwari Devidasi, anything carried over from last week in your ever-efficient notes that you keep? Your microphone is off, or you're translating,
Yes.
perhaps, are you?
No, Maharaj. But from not from last class, but from previous classes, we were talking about, just let me minimize. Oh, doesn't want to work. About qualities of the devotees, Maharaj. You, Sevarupa Didi, she provided a quote, and you said, but I want something more specific. And I was looking for that specific, and I couldn't get it. Okay,
it's too early in the morning for me to be more specific in my brain about what you're referring to. Okay, so
it was, you mentioned about good qualities of a Vaiṣṇava. I found a list, but it's long and it's not what you mentioned actually. So I was wondering.
I admit I didn't do homework, but I do recall now what you're referring to. But I admit I did not do homework.
Okay.
I think I did a little homework afterwards and also didn't find it. Okay, anyway, devotees have lots of good qualities.
And we have wonderful devotees here as well.
And we do, yes. And I'm also thinking to ask Jivana Devidasi, first of all, because she's our senior lady with us, our senior devotee with us, and she's a lady. And we can ask her. And by the way, greetings to everybody one by one. and to Ray Thorpe, welcome back, to Roger, welcome back, and to Dana, a very regular, you're certainly welcome, and to all of you. We mentioned Gangalila Devirasi, but also Udaran Prabhu, Jayadev Prabhu, Lin, Sevarupa Devirasi, Muktinath Priyanana, I can see on my screen, and I don't have the Facebook on, but on
Jaga
Facebook.
Mohini is sending obeisances, Maharaj,
And my
And-
obeisances to her, yes.
and Michael Madhava as well.
Jai, Michael Madhava. My obeisances, and very happy to have you with us, and those who I can't see, that we can't see, who are with us and will be with us. Our obeisances and appreciation. Oh, Praneshwari Devirasi. Somebody, well, Praneshwari Devirasi, somebody called Praneshwari Devirasi put 26 good qualities of a Vaishnava. And Gangalila and Seva Rupa Devirasi sending obeisances. And our obeisances to you all. Yes, indeed. So, am I reading this first of all? And then, oh, Jivana can read it. This can be the beginning of your talk. That will save me early in the morning. Kindly.
Sure, early in the morning is better than any time of day for somebody like me. Oh my goodness. Okay. So in the chat, I'm reading the 26 good qualities of a Vaishnava.
Mm-hmm.
Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj, the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, says that all good qualities become manifest in the body of a Vaishnava, and that only by the presence of these good qualities can one distinguish a Vaishnava from a non-Vaishnava. Krishnadas Kaviraj lists the following 26 good qualities. Let's see, it says that all Vaishnava, sorry, something just, okay, 26 good qualities of a Vaishnava. He is very kind to everyone. He does not make anyone his enemy. He is truthful. He is equal to everyone. No one can find any fault in him. He is magnanimous. He is mild. He is always clean. He is without possessions. He works for everyone's benefit. He is very peaceful. He is always surrendered to Krishna. He has no material desires. He is very meek. He is steady. He controls his senses. He does not eat more than required. He is not influenced by the Lord's illusory energy. He offers respect to everyone. He does not desire any respect for himself. He is very grave. He is merciful. He is friendly. He is poetic. He is expert. He is silent.
Well, wonderful. That's a wonderful list.
It's an amazing list.
And okay. Just a couple of messages came in the meantime. One, Chintamani Devidasi, Dandavats from Japan. Vishaka Didi and assembled devotees are all preparing to go out on Harinam.
Wow.
And Chintamani is in Japan too.
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay, my goodness. The world is a small place, isn't it? And Praneshri, can we see before you all go on? Oh, can we see you for a moment before you all go out on Harinam? That's to you, Chintamani. Can we see you for a moment before we all go out on, before you all go out on Harinam? Okay, maybe they're preparing. Let us see. Jivanadi, please continue.
I think that was the complete list.
Yes.
So it's a very, very beautiful list, very high, and very much to be aspired for. Srila Guru Dev and Guru Maharaj would always say, these things may be above our head, but we should always keep them above our head and not lower our own standards, but always keep that as our goal, even though we may feel a little far away from it. So those qualities are really amazing. And I like how they say, if you can just somehow surrender to Krishna and keep in the Krishna consciousness line, you don't have to worry about working on every single quality. The qualities will naturally manifest. And
Right, the difference between having the qualities and like showing the qualities, like an actor learns how to have some qualities and what are the symptoms of one who's humble. If he's going to play somebody who's humble in a part, then he learns what are the eye movements. Like they have a whole analysis of these things, but not that we make those we force those attributes on ourselves, but still we do aspire to be Vaishnavas and to have those qualities. Yes. So Jivana, you do naturally have maybe 26 of these 26 qualities. So a few words to help us through the week in our devotion.
So many beautiful friends, and that they have them. So I just try to pitter patter, like I always say, I just try to follow behind. But I did come across something very interesting, Maharaj, that you will remember. And it's from the Navadvip News Bulletin. And this is from April 7th, 1998.
My goodness.
I know, right?
Jai.
You know, what's interesting too, so I was going to read this first page. It's very short. But what's interesting is in here, it mentions that this was the time when the Mott's own website was launched. This is when you launched that famous Mott website that is like a treasure trove of so much nectar and so many photos, so many beautiful, beautiful quotes and pieces of Gurudev's talk, so much on that website. But I was astonished because this is when it started. And I found it. So anyway, that's very beautiful. But if you don't mind, I can read this first page. Don't burn your fortune.
Please do. Yes.
So this is called Don't Burn Your Fortune. It's by Gurudev, Srila Bhaktisindar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj. And he wrote, it appears to be in response to a letter that somebody wrote to him. So he says, "My dear Prabhu, I have received your recent letter with observation of improper conduct of older devotees and attentively read the contents. The answer to your question has already been given by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur when some circumstances came within his mission at that time." And then he quotes a Madhya Lila, chapter 22 verse. That means, whoever is serving Krishna and Guru, if he will do something wrong, or sometimes some fault will come to him, it is not necessary because of his service for any punishment from outside. Satisfaction to Guru is called service to Krishna. Through his service to Krishna, he will get more affection and more attachment to Krishna consciousness. And when Krishna consciousness appears in his heart, through his presence, that microwave fire will destroy all his sinful and offensive activities. There is fault, no doubt, but it is not for you to see in that way, for this vision will burn your fortune. This was clearly expressed by Srila Saraswati Thakur, and we shall learn from that and carefully proceed. Yours affectionately, Swami Govinda.
Yes. And Guru's guidance means Gurudev, Guru Mahashil, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Their guidance is forever. It's not just in the past. They are giving us the standard for our devotional life all over the world. So Jivana, please continue. You were beautifully read.
That is always something to keep in mind, because always in the course of our life, I feel like we're always coming across, at least for myself, oh, this person's doing that wrong, or this person said that to that person wrong. They shouldn't have said like that. They're going to discourage them. They're going to whatever. So many, the mind just never stops. It just keeps going. So I really happy that I came across this, Maharaj, that this was printed, and I came across it, that it's not our job to find fault with others. Our job is to find fault with ourselves. We were just reading that also when that revealed truth. I believe now we're on chapter 18. And that's one thing that Guru Maharaj makes a point about. He says if you criticize others, you actually are doing harm for yourself. If you glorify others and continue with your service, you're doing good for yourself. He was making a distinction between when we're doing good for ourselves and when we're harming ourselves. So actually this fault finding is very dangerous, and it only does bad for ourselves. And we can feel it. We can feel it when you're feeling negative about somebody. You don't feel happy, and you feel like you need some correction. So in this way, I was really happy to hear this and come across it. And I hope that by the mercy of all of you on this call, all of your beautiful association here, you all are so wonderful to always call into this call. I love it so much. It's not about me, of course, but that I get your association is very, very wonderful. And I hope that by your mercy, this can become situated in my heart and consciousness forever.
Hare Krishna. I pray for the mercy of all the Vaishnavas.
Yes.
I am Das Anudas Anudas. I mean, really, my feeling, my savor is to serve the devotees. It always has been. And we try to do that. We want to serve the devotees and definitely not be a master.
Right.
And we need the grace of all the devotees. It is the strength between devotees is the sharing of grace also. If you have many people trying to do something, then when that's combined, then that energy can pull a train or do all sorts of things, can't it? But by ourselves, very difficult. And very difficult to move in the world, which is a dangerous place to move through.
Mm.
And this fault-finding tendency, it's ingrained through the newspapers and television since we are
Right.
born. Because that's where the news comes from. It comes from looking at the faults of others. Movie stars, I don't know, anybody who's famous, there's somebody there trying to see the fault and pull them down. And that sells newspapers, it sells things like this. And it's ingrained in us, but we have to leave it behind. But when it happens around, it's also a fine line about how can we think, oh, we can change others, we should tell them, or this, that, and the other. But finally, we see that it's only going to be by the grace of the Lord that anybody else will change, and it's only going to be by the grace of the Lord I can change. But we are not, as Guru Maharaj said, we are not the ones for dispensing punishment to others. If anybody is doing something wrong, or this, that, and the other, it's not up to us to try to give some punishment, which is, you can say some bad reaction to them. But rather, we must always try to, first of all, if we can, then try to steer devotees towards, as we're doing now, reading from the words of Gurudev and Guru Maharaj and trying to get them to see that. But the real question is ourselves. And if we are in an environment where there's a lot of criticism or something, we think, well, Krishna, he's put me here, he's put me into this environment. And haven't we heard repeatedly Guru Maharaj say that we are responsible for our own environment? We cannot argue with that. It's the result of our own karma, our own past deeds, or it's there for some purpose in our life. So we are the ones who are being challenged, individually challenged to see that we can pass the test of not getting sucked into the gossip of criticism, which is the news. And sometimes people call me up to ask me things, and I say to them, Prabhu, what good will it do if you know or don't know something or about a situation? I'm not here, and we're not here to gossip about devotees. We're here to see their good qualities and to give help if we can, or what we think is help if we can. But we ourselves must be very careful not to chew these things, because that was Guru Maharaj's expression, not to chew the faults in others. If we chew those faults will come to us. But if we ruminate on the good qualities of others, those good qualities will come to us. And good qualities means especially the Vaiṣṇava qualities, the qualities in the Vaishnavas, of other Vaishnavas. And revealed truth is very rich with guidance in this regard. In revealed truth is also there, Srila Gurudev saying, how Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, our mind can be our best friend and our worst enemy.
Yes, right.
And it's our worst, and then Gurudev says, then it's our worst enemy when we criticize others. It's our best friend when we criticize ourselves and try to correct it, not just go into like a deep depression. Rather, yes, so fallen, but we've got some light at the end of the tunnel and we know what is the ideal, and we just chastise ourselves for getting into such a situation. We should never be here. We've made some wrong decision in the past, but now we have to face reality, which Guru Maharaj pointed out is Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is reality. And we should become acquainted with that. It is in your interest, perhaps, to become acquainted with that. So, Krishna consciousness. Yes, dear devotees. And a little more, Jivana, something that comes to mind while we're chatting from you?
No, I'm so glad that you remembered that was the quote that Gurudev gave in that revealed truth about your mind can be your best friend or your worst enemy. And that's exactly how he put it. It's your worst enemy when you're finding fault with others. And it becomes your best friend when you're finding fault with yourself. So yeah, that was a
And
very,
we must, sorry.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, we must remember that we've come to take shelter of the Vaishnavas. We've come to take shelter of the holy name, not come to the Vaishnavas and then find fault in this, that, and the other. And we can easily not be a Vaishnava. I mean, even an aspiring Vaishnava. And so if somebody comes in the door, if somebody completely new comes in the door and starts looking at the faults of everyone, that won't be much appreciated. So we think, okay, now we're in the Vaishnava family and now we can point out faults in others. No, it is very dangerous. We can easily not be a Vaishnava. We can, by not appreciating the devotees, by offending the devotees. So we must be very careful in our association, must appreciate that. Yes. Any comment from anybody or any question from anyone? And just a reminder, behind Praneshwari Devi Rasi is beautiful Tulsi Devi and beautiful lotus leaves of Navadip Tulsi Manch. The Tulsi Manch is the place where Tulsi is worshipped. Oh, and Praneshwari just disappeared. But those, so a reminder to us of Navadip, of Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, of Aparada Bhanjaner Path, of Guru Maharaj's Samadhi, Gurudev Samadhi, all right there at the place of Tulsi, and the lotus is here. But the lotus leaf is used as an example of how we have our life at the moment. Our life, our energy, our life is in the body. But at any moment, like a drop of water on the lotus leaf, at any moment, then that can be lost. So we must use every moment properly and correctly. And we've seen again and again, again and again, this week, every week practically, with this week, somebody who's, okay, they slipped and fell, and now they're dead. I don't know if they died the same day or a little bit later, but an accident, they were fine. They didn't expect that to happen when they got up in the morning, but now left their body. So this can happen to anybody at any moment. We are reminded about it. So now we have our life, and all around us we are seeing friends, relatives of friends, all passing away. And really, here we are in the school, in the class, which is really trying to address this world problem and address it in the most positive way under the guidance of those who know. Hare Krishna. So the lotus reminds us, and then of course there is the lotus, not only the lotus leaves, but there is one lotus which is going to bloom tomorrow or later today, maybe if it's early in the morning in Navadip. In Navadip, it's exactly 8 a.m. I don't know what the temperature is. They were, I saw 44 degrees the other day, but now the temperature's dropped, I do believe. But it is good to remember Navadip. It's good to remember our home. Even in a Navadip, 28 degrees and haze. Oh dear. Haze because of so many coal dung and cow dung and coal fires, maybe. I do not know. Hare Krishna. So it's dropped from 44 degrees to 28 degrees. And I saw Govardhan was 40 degrees. Oh, battery is low. There we are. Hare Krishna. Jai. Pranams to all the devotees. Oh, yes. Any question? And from Latvia, early in the morning, Udaram Prabhu is with us, Suresh Krishna Prabhu is with us. Dandavat, our Latvian group, and Rupanuga Prabhu all the way from Australia, Muktinath Prabhu all the way from Thailand. Oh, and yes, Chintamani all the way from Japan, amazingly in Japan.
She said they were getting ready and they were going to connect. So
Yeah.
maybe in a few moments we'll have them.
All right. Muktinath. The
Our
Lord,
dear Muktinath, yes, he can open his camera.
Lord of liberation. But of course, in the devotional school, that doesn't mean the general idea of just getting out of birth and death. Real liberation is to enter into Krishna's land. So Muktinath Das Prabhu, a few words from Govinda Farm, it appears. The kitchen, you're doing savor in the kitchen.
Yes, a little morning cleaning. Now is a little changing. Everything moving, everyone moving. So somehow I'm just alone here in a farm. Yes.
Oh,
So
okay.
waiting when everyone will back.
Okay, well, we hope they're all safe and well in Krishna consciousness.
Yes, sure.
Right. Okay. You're in a very beautiful part of the world. Use your quietness Sometimes when it's all very busy, we think, oh, wouldn't it be nice if it's somewhere peaceful and quiet? Well, you have that peaceful and quietness right now. So
Sure.
whatever situation we're in, try to utilize nicely and engage in seva, doing the things we're meant to do, which
I
I'm sure
try.
you are. Yes, so any question, Muktinath Prabhu?
Actually, I already had some paper with list of the question, but this take a time to find it. Uh, so I just read some post in Instagram, maybe, or not Instagram, Telegram, from maybe from your channel, and that was words of Sridhar Maharaj. Like we have to what everything we learn, we have to, like, it was like word, like it was already translated to Russian, but I think it was like hunting and find people and say that to them, like, who need to hear it. So and somehow a few times I need to go, like went out to the city, and somehow people on my way was like a bit talkative, and I tried to say something, and it was a nice experience. So not so straight, but something uh, about vegetarian yoga. It was like nice few meeting, maybe suddenly. So, and that was so inspired. It gives inspiration to me, same way.
Right. Yes, by giving we get. And actually this is part of Krishna Kirtan, to talk about Krishna, not only to sing about Krishna, but to tell others about Krishna.
Yes.
And it's Mahaprabhu's general instruction to everyone. Tell others about Krishna. And we only will meet these people once. I mean, a lot of the people, if you're in the tuk-tuk and you're going to go to the town, it's not that again and again you're going to meet the same people. So it's good that they can hear something, Krishna's name of Gauranga, I do not know. You're in Thailand, where they worship what is generally seen as, their golden Lord, because the Buddha statues, you see, they're, I can't say always, but many are gold colored, at least gold colored, and some of them we know they're actually gold plated. And there is quite a lot of wealth in some of those temples, which is an indication that in quite a poor village, you get a temple which has got some considerable expense and devotion that has gone into the deity of Buddha and into the designs and the craftsmanship that go into those temples inside. So they have golden Lord, and we are also worshipping a golden Lord. Who can this be? Gauranga, dispenser of mercy. So when we're in the Buddhist countries, and Thailand, we know, having the very predominantly golden colored deities, we can also introduce Mahaprabhu, yes, and Buddha. Buddha is an incarnation of a golden Lord Mahaprabhu. Anyway, different ways we can introduce Krishna consciousness. But if we consider that we won't meet these people again, and why did Krishna put them with us in the bus or the tuk-tuk, and why are they talkative?
Yes.
Thailand is a little like India, people talk to you in Thailand. There are people around.
Yeah.
It's not like that everywhere. There are cars, vehicles around. And even the cars don't talk to each other in the West. In India, they talk to each other. Beep, 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 beep. They're always honking their horns. The cars talk to each other, but not in the West. Only occasionally they shout some abuse at each other. But that's not the same as the talking in India. But in the West, if they sometimes, usually blowing the horn, they're giving a little abuse to somebody else. Instead of seeing the good qualities of the other driver, they're seeing their bad quality, that they did something which disapproved this car. Yes, so whoever we meet, tell them about Krishna. Why not? Little news from here, if you like. Everyone's being a little quiet today. Sometimes there's lots of life, but little news from here. We went on pilgrimage, and just the day before Italy's Mukti Day. And I still don't know what they got liberation from. I haven't asked, but anyway, it was Italy's liberation day from whatever they were not liberated from. And anyhow, so we had the opportunity, because it's a holiday time for the general population. So with Rituraj and the devotees here, and Chinmoy Dev Prabhu, Rituraj and Chinmoy Dev Prabhu, Kamala Sundari Devirasi, Nirupama Devirasi from Ukraine. We went on pilgrimage by foot, and really it was a happy pilgrimage to the Montebaro place where Srila Gurudev was with so many devotees and so many happy memories by so many devotees it's on the side of a mountain, hill, but it's enough of a hill for us to call it a mountain, because we went by foot and we went over the top and to that place from Lecco, which is, the nearest town is beside Lake Como. And then from there we walked and we went with this plan. And so we took prasadam. We didn't go buying anything in the shops. We took prasadam and we ate that on the top of the mountain and walked to the top and then came down. And we went in pilgrimage mood, and as we do, walk and talk. And when we got to the place, it was closed, but everything was open, and quite a lot of people there, because it's a holiday time. So lots of people coming because they can drive the car to the car park nearby instead of walking all the way from Lecco. But we were there very happily, and oh yes, we can prove it even. We've got some photographs from outside the church where Gurudev, is also a picture of Gurudev at the church, and so we kind of were there and trying to see as his prasadam and remembering what we've heard of the events that took place there, and the hall there where the kirtans, big kirtans we heard took place. And then after reaching there, which was some hours of walking and fairly uphill and downhill to get there, then after reaching there, and as we are coming away, the sun was shining nicely, and some big raindrops were falling from the sky, for several minutes, but not like a thunderstorm, or monsoon like this that you get in Thailand. But these big raindrops came, and they were all glowing in the sunlight. And then in Bengal, they call this pushpa brishti, flower rain, when the sun is shining and the rain is falling. And apparently, if we have the eyes to see, there are flowers that are falling in this, in such rain. And that's coming down from the gods, from the heavenly planets, from somewhere. Anyway, we just felt a little joy that we know Gurudev watches us. And we were there very much like Gurudev centered, because it's Gurudev center at that time, very Gurudev centered place. And then we came away. And so some little reading the environment and thinking, okay, good day. So Italy's Liberation Day, but for us, we were able to have that opportunity when Rituraj was not working, and it gave us the opportunity to have a day out with the devotees there. Jaya Dev Prabhu. Okay, I I won't even read your comment because I'm not sure. I don't know anything. It's apparently. Anyway, okay. I have no comment about any politics on one side or another. We only know one really successful political aim. That's Krishna's, that everyone serve him. And that everyone, then that is real freedom. We get our freedom when we can be a servitor of the free, he who is fully independent. Krishna can change anything at every moment, do anything at any time. After all, he could pick up Govardhan Hill with the little finger of his left hand. Just think. Gravity and everything else, can all be cancelled at any one moment. One morning, we were outside here. It was not, as far as I know, it wasn't a holiday, but it was very quiet in the morning when we go out to do the morning worship of Gurudev at the Pushpa Samadhi. And we can generally hear the town. We can hear, cars, people are starting to go to work. But it was very quiet that morning. And then we actually reflected, oh, maybe Krishna just took away the quality of petroleum, or in America, gas, took away the quality of petroleum to explode, so that all the cars are rendered useless. I mean, if he wanted to, he could just stop then. Okay, cars don't work anymore. Okay, look, Chintamani Devidasi in Japan is with Vishaka Devidasi. And maybe, are you able to make this into a big, or maybe, can I do it?
She's already pinned.
Oh, it's pinned, okay.
Yes. So you can see her if you go to gallery.
Okay. Speaker. Oh, I can see you.
Dandavad, Shri Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki jai, Shri Vishaka Didi ki jai. Dandavad, Dandavad.
Dandavad.
Hare Krishna.
Vaiṣṇava Vrinda, I see Punesh. Wow, Jeevana's there, amazing. Leela Moy Prabhu and Mukti Nag Roger. Dandavad, everyone.
We are not there, we are here with you.
Jai Dev is there. And Dandavad
Dandavad to
Maharaj.
you. And we've come to see you also by hearing. Please say a few words to us about your project, your activities that's taking place there, because it's a very...
Give a report. And then Ananda Krishna will give a report. Jai Ananda Krishna Prabhu ki jai.
All is well. All is being absorbed with open hearts. It's going so amazing. And it's getting better and better every moment.
The
Ananda
Japanese
Krishna.
people are very eager for Krishna Consciousness Week, especially in Kyoto. We had here the programs have been a little smaller with Ajit Tasha, but in Kyoto with Ananda Moy Devi Das. Ananda Moy Devi ki jai.
Dandavad.
It was
Hare
was
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
we had some really quite phenomenal programs. There's like a wave, and there was this big Earth Day event. They just welcomed us with open arms and gave us a few public, slots and some vegan places. We met yoga center people, and really, really promising, very encouraging. So by Gurudev's grace, we have the opportunity to be humble instruments.
Joy, joy, joy.
And the food is very, very fresh. It feels very fresh and like this innocence, like kind of what you imagine in America in the 60s, when Swami Maharaj's first bring, you feel that kind of mood here. It's very special, like Jeevanaji, like China, kind of like that, like this freshness and newness and excitement. And so it's really a privilege to be here and to be a part of that.
And have you
And
found...
big credit to Ananda Moy. She's amazing. She's like a personality in her own right. She has a bit of a following here because of she leads beautiful kirtan and very humble at the same time. So we have a really beautiful team. Sorry, Marsh, what were you gonna say?
No, I was actually going to ask you, and is there a particular way that you find in Japan that you can approach the people, something that they resonate with?
Well, you know what? Yeah, I had a few stumbling blocks in the beginning. I have been trying to work out, you know, what is the first talk I gave, I realized it was the wrong approach. It was too much for them. And so I think kirtan seems to be the best way. It's something very tangible. There's a new interest in kirtan and talking about kirtan, talking about Mahaprabhu. And I've also been trying to draw links with the Shinto religion is the original culture here. And it's very, very much into nature and harmony and, you know, living in respect with your environment. So I've been trying to draw links with that, and, you know, they appreciate that. But I have to say, the Japanese people, it's really like nowhere else I've ever been. You come, Maharaj, I mean, there's this deep mood of respect. I mean, you go out in the streets, you don't see a single piece of garbage.
No.
Like literally, it's just incredible. The people are so respectful and sensitive, and it's like quite surreal, actually. I've never experienced anything like everything's done so intelligently. And
New planet.
yeah, it's like it is like a different. She said it. No, she's Japanese, but yeah, it's like a new planet. It's a different planet here. Yeah. So yeah, thank you, Marsh, for your blessings. We're very happy we can see have your holy presence here with us.
Not my holy presence, it's the holy gathering of so many sincere seekers, and we're happy to come there. And just, I want to stop you. You're going now on Sankirtan, is it, with Mridanga?
Yesterday, Paramananda Prabhu kindly visited us yesterday, and he recommended there's some special flower that's blossoming, and there are lots of people stopping and visiting the flowers. So he suggested we go there and do some Harinam. So we're going to check it out. We have some leaflets. Ananda Krishna Prabhu made some Japanese leaflets, so we're going to hand them out.
Yes.
And Harmonies are Mridanga Niya. So yeah, we're gonna go. And Ananta Govind is also with us, but he's staying behind to help Ajit Tasha with some English class with some students. But he's also been a great team member.
Okay, excellent. So anyway, you're bringing life to us all by seeing the preaching going on there in Japan. And I don't know if you were able to hear what we were saying a few minutes ago, which was, whoever we meet, we must think that Krishna sent them to us. So we must try to give them some Krishna consciousness. And, you know, we may do it gently, but we do need to introduce Krishna consciousness to the people, Gauranga consciousness, because we may never meet them again. So, you know, to start and tell them, you know, just about, you know, yoga or something is a general thing, but because we may never meet them again, at least once we can tell them something about the Golden Lord. We're worshipping the Golden Lord. Anyway, just a thought, because you're there and you're meeting people who may never meet you again. So do good with every breath. Not you, I mean, you already know that, but there to the devotees with you. Japan's a wonderful place to see many things and meet the people, but it's not to tell them about America or England or any physical place, but to tell them about Gauranga, Krishna, the Golden Lord. So, so we leave you to your kirtan. Well done. Chant Hare Krishna, be happy. And please, you all send some good wishes to us here on Zoom. We will stay with our heart with you, and we'll be listening through the ether for the sound of the kirtan reaching us from Japan. You're going by car. Oh, okay.
Chintamani, driving. I'm learning how to drive on the wrong side of the road. To do the left side.
You have to concentrate for the first 20 minutes, and after that, your brain will work properly. Okay, Dandavat, dear devotees there, and we'll continue here for a few minutes. We've got a few minutes more. Oh, we're at the end of the day here. But we can ask the devotees, does anyone have any question? Chintamani is now going to drive, so you give attention to the road. Okay, they're going to be in the car for now. Okay, drive safely, 2 hands on the wheel, etc., etc. And Rupa Nuga Prabhu, he was with us.
Yes, he's here.
Oh, Ray Thorpe. Oh, Rupa Nuga. Yes, sorry. I was calling you by your
At the beginning, when you mentioned him, I understood that you didn't recognize him, so I changed his name.
Yeah. You are very small on the screen also. I mean, please excuse me. I mean, everybody's small on the screen, but you also have your phone this way instead of this way, so maybe even smaller. Oh, there we are. We have a big Rupa Nuga Prabhu. Now we can see you. Prabhu, from your side of the world, you are in Australia, is it? Or, I mean, we also with you don't know exactly where we're going to be each time we meet, but I know you'll be somewhere warm. But open your microphone if you have a little news for us devotionally.
Yes, I'm heading back to Thailand next in 1 week's time, and I might go up to Chiang Mai. I'm not sure yet. So I'm following the warmth. It's getting cold here, too cold for me.
Right, unusually or unexpectedly, Australia, or at least that Murwillumbah, that area on the east, is surprisingly cold when we have the impression of Australia as a hot country. It can be surprisingly cold even in summer, as we found out.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But going to the heat, off to Thailand. So absorb the good things of wherever we are and do good in Thailand. You purchased a small house, I think, some place in Thailand. Let the neighbors hear about Krishna. Let your neighbors be fortunate. Hare Krishna. Any quick question from any good soul with us? Or contribution, a quick contribution.
Maharaj, maybe a small question, but not
Yes.
a very good soul. It's about this thing you said about like whoever you meet, tell them about Krishna and so on. But sometimes you have the inspiration to talk. And like recently, I was flying in the plane, and like some men nearby. I was just like all the flights. I was like thinking whether I should start to talk or not, and I don't know why. Like he was with his friend flying, and I thought like why like this inspiration comes. But then like 15 minutes before landing, I I just started to talk with him and found out that he already like a year ago or something, he started like some spiritual yoga practice or something. It was funny, and like some energetic practices too. And he said like, oh, already maybe half a year I meet some people who tell me that I should come back to the spiritual practices. So it was amazing proof that if you have some inner inspiration, maybe without any, so to say, reason or obvious reason, still you should go for it, because there is something there that like Krishna pushes you a little bit. Well, maybe I didn't tell too much, but like at least inviting him to our center in St. Petersburg and so on. But for me, it was another like sign, you know, if you have something inside to like something that pushes you, that you should try. Yes, and of course it takes some courage, because I also remember Saraswati Thakur's article or something where he says like, if like, I'm paraphrasing maybe or like not quoting properly, but like if before starting preaching you like had many thoughts and like to do it or not, and you like was in doubt, then it means like not properly you are the preacher of Mahaprabhu's conception. Because Saraswati Thakur's mood is like you should go for it, like lying preaching, and like that's the absolute truth, and everyone needs to know about it. So that should be the mood. But sometimes you feel like it is humble and not like Saraswati Thakur's mood, just like crawling, like something like this. But yeah, thank you for saying this today. About whomever you
Right.
meet and
Often the devotees try to blend in the material world so they don't stand out.
yes.
Actually, if there is some mark on a devotee, even the Tulasi Mala, some tilak, something is there, then it gives an opportunity for others to say something. Because anywhere in the world, you come across people who say, oh, I was in Vrindavan, I was this, I was that. The consul or assistant consul or something of one of the American embassies, very surprisingly, he studied philosophy or something in Vrindavan, completely without any idea that he was, going to the land of Krishna or anything else. And this was, obviously somebody wearing suit and tie and all these things, and they see the tilak, and then they say, oh, I studied philosophy in Vrindavan, but I never understood really what they were doing. Then if we have a little symbol on us rather than like blending in fully into the environment, that also gives an opening for others who have some question and query also, or just like to talk about something spiritual. And many of the people in the West, they do seem to have some basis of, oh yes, I do meditation. And we find here that meditation is something which seems to be quite popular. I'm not sure quite, who or why, but that people do meditation or they practice some meditation, because I think it's proven, it makes your mind quiet and this, that, and the other. And so, every road can be improved, as Bhaktivinoda Thakur said. And so when they've got some idea that we need to control the mind, and got some idea need to be healthy, etc., with some good ideal, then it's an opportunity for us to add the best, to add Gauranga and his gift. Anyway, well done for being brave. And I'm sure that man on the plane got to at least hear the name of Gauranga or Krishna.
Yeah, Krishna, one holy name, quiet one.
One quiet, holy name from a humble Vaiṣṇava.
But
And by the way, yes, tell me.
Yes, you first then.
No, I was just going to say, and I've copied and kept that the qualities. How many? 26 copies. 26 qualities of the Vaishnavas, because it's very nice to appreciate the Vaishnavas with remembering these qualities. How wonderful Vaishnavas are. Just read the qualities. That was my comment. So your man on the plane heard one maybe quiet name of the Lord from a Vaishnava with these qualities. Hare Krishna.
But I just remember that when we were in Thailand in this botanical garden or something, and do you remember a Thai man came in and he said, where can I buy the dress like you have?
Oh, right.
That was funny. Like Maharaj wrote him some address in Vrindavan.
He wanted to buy a dhoti and kurta like I was wearing, and he thought, oh, this looks cool. Something like that. I mean, different people see the same thing with a different interpretation and understanding.
It looks cool indeed.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, we went to the Thai. Anyway, We went to that botanical gardens, and very interesting what Krishna create, well, the creation of, well, it's Lord Brahma, but it's all the creation of Krishna. Amazing things that we saw. And with a little explanation. Otherwise, if we just go walk through, then we won't even know what we're seeing. So even to see plants, we need some explanation to know the features of this plant, that plant, etc. So in our Krishna consciousness, we also need some explanation to help people understand what's behind, the cloth, or behind, what is the devotees. So we need explanations, and when we see the explanations about devotional life, then surely everyone will be attracted. It's the life of ecstasy, joy, and eternity. Who could complain about that? Oh, I'd rather have a beer down the pub. Okay. Later, when the spark comes in your mind that the beer doesn't really solve your problems, then give Krishna a try. Hare Krishna. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Garadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All right, dear devotees, clock is ticking and the world is going on. Please, you continue happily in Krishna consciousness on Facebook, on Zoom, those who are seeing us in a recorded version, and my obeisances to you all, and big jais to our masters, Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj, Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rokhok Sri Dev Goswami Maharaj, Om Vishnupad Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the whole Rupanuga, Guru Vaga, and all the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Acharya Brinda Ki Jai, and to all of you and the worldwide devotees Ki Jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha, kripa sindubhya evacha, patitanam pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Jai Shri Bhaktiranjan Madhusudhan Maharaj ki Jai.
And
Wishing you
Dandavats from Madhu Gopal, excuse me to interrupt, from Kitty Kadamba in Australia. And Madhu Gopal is in the United States. And from someone very, very, very distant, very far away from you, Maharaj, Nirupama Devidas.
Okay, some hidden dandavats. They must be coming through on Facebook, I think.
Yes,
All right,
Maharaj.
my dandavat to each of you and to all as well as a group. Dandavat pranam. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Dandavat.